Alright, I've been busy as hell. Had no time for Look Out for Charlie stuff at all. I have been recording, but I haven't gone over 1 second of those recordings at all. I'm getting the last stuff out of my dad's house before I can't go back in there. And it's been pretty hectic and pretty crazy. I wasn't going to do any videos, but I was checking out the news early this morning, and I see this this situation in Maine, right? The guy's name is Robert Card. He had a little pew-pew incident, and I went, wow. And here I am telling you guys over and over what's going on. You know, so many different types of people are targeted with Voice of God weapons. You know, housewives, doctors, lawyers, janitors, mechanics, you know, whatever. There's a big spectrum of people, but there are also gun owners, and that is a big part of this. You know, these people go to buy a firearm, and because of the federal laws, they're ran through the NICS system, right? So they go through this database looking for information on the person, and certain people that fit certain profile points, you know, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months down the road, those people start to hear voices. And then when the incident happens, if it happens, they say they had mental health issues. And if not, they just become a mental health statistic. So this case with Robert Card right here is the new one. And Card was committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks over the summer, which means he was just hit. So he was probably just hit in like late spring. All right, that's important. Robert Card was born April 4th, 1983, which makes him 40 exactly. Now that's pretty old school, because if people remember this, back in the old school days of this kind of stuff, a lot of people were hit on their 40th birthday or around their 40th birthday, as if they were trying to redefine the mental health narrative. Like schizophrenics would have, they would become schizophrenic between, you know, 15 and 28 or whatever. Now, these people are being hit with this at 40, as if they're trying to change something. Now, who believes this, man? I'm telling you that gun owners are being targeted. This guy is a firearms instructor. A firearms instructor. And out of nowhere, he lives his entire life totally normal. And then right around 40 years old, he begins to hear voices. Not just mental health issues, voices. Back in the day, that was the worst symptom a schizophrenic could have. The worst. And now, guys just pop up with it. Women just pop up with it. You can be 80 years old and you start to hear voices. Come on, man. So let's hear a little bit about it.
Robert Card, the 4th of April, 1983. As a person of interest regarding the mass shooting at Shemengi's bar, Card should be considered armed and dangerous. Please contact law enforcement if you are aware of his whereabouts. Card is a trained firearms instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve.
So what are the odds? The guy's a firearms instructor. It's perfect. So firearms instructors can even snap out of nowhere, right? The narrative, it's perfect, man. It's not just a gun owner. It's a firearms instructor. We got to get the guns away from these guys, man. They go crazy, right? Come on, dude. What are the odds? The evidence just piles up and piles up.
The bulletin also states that Card recently reported mental health issues.
Mental health issues, which is what the mainstream news is saying. All of them, just mental health issues. They're not saying, oh yeah, he was a voice here. They're like trying to subtly kind of bury that.
Including hearing voices and threats to shoot up the National Guard base in Saco.
They explain it really weird. Hearing voices and threats to shoot up the National Guard base in Saco. So what it sounds like is the voices were threatening him and telling him that he had to take care of the National Guard base in Saco. This is typical script for script Voice of God weapons attack on a firearms instructor. I told you this was coming just a couple videos ago, and it is just ramping up and ramping up. It is fucking madness, and it is madness that any rational person out there, any critically thinking person believes any of this. It's madness.
According to the document, Card was committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks over the summer before...
So that means, again, that he was most likely hit right after his 40th birthday, or around his 40th birthday, and then was committed in the summer, then released. So that's what they do with a lot of these people, man. They ramp it up for months. And then if they don't snap, and if they have like a laid back attitude about it and they're not going to get violent, they're considered a dud. They're considered a total dud, and then they just get nonsense voices 24/7. But this one was an operation. They drive these people to do this shit. They probably told them that the dudes that were doing it were at the bar. You know, that's probably what they told them. This is how they do it. Somebody just doesn't get up and go, I'm going to go take care of that bar. It's a trick. And when you think that people are out to kill you or do you harm, it's a lot easier to manipulate people into doing this than people think. So he believed, guaranteed, that something was happening at that bar that wasn't.
He should be considered armed and dangerous.
So now this guy's life is ruined, completely ruined. They destroyed this guy's life. All these people, their lives are ruined. And the real people doing this, the prolific serial killers that are doing this to people, are not being caught. Because people are buying into this bullshit mental health narrative. It is absolute madness. Fucking fuck, man. Ugh. See, I gotta go back to work. That's it for now. Look out for Charlie.